bit late in the day, so I thought we'll kind of cover this over next 10 minutes to 15 minutes tops. Uh, little bit on PayZapp first before I jump right into it. I represent PayZapp for HDFC Bank. I manage the product over there. We launched in 2023, and this has been around about a couple of years, 2+ years. We have launched it. So MoEngage team, we have been working very closely from the launch of the product. A lot of things we have done together. So thanks to MoEngage team, we wanted to kind of speak a little bit more about the various use cases we have solved with MoEngage. And what better than the Growth Summit as an opportunity to speak about it. So diving right into it. Yeah, so in terms of a little bit about the scale of business at PayZapp, before we get into the scale of business in PayZapp, Anjali kind of spoke about little before that, where did we do PayZapp? So the payment industry and the entire banking industry has gone across through a lot of upheavals in the last decade. We have witnessed UPI, we have witnessed new banks coming in. And that's where, as a large bank like HDFC, where we are the largest card issuing bank and a large merchant acquiring bank, we thought, how do we solve across something which is a mobile first solution, given the day and age we are at. And from that perspective, we thought, why not build across something which is a payment first app, but also a marketplace, also a service which provides across an interface for banking as a service, also provides across a financial hub for all the financial services which the bank has to offer. There's a large set of HDFC Bank customers which we have to serve, but also we wanted to make it across as a foot-in-door strategy for making across NTB or new to bank customers make PayZapp their first app. That's where we started across this entire engagement. So a little bit about ourselves: 16 million customers, 6 million plus monthly transacting users. One of the best rated apps in the payment fintech space at 4.3 and 4.4 on App Store and Play Store. Moving on. So that's been our growth journey so far. We started working together in the year 2022, integrated with MoEngage in the time of December 2022 and launched in March 2023. Once we launched PayZapp, our first milestone was how do we touch the first 10 million customers. And very happy to say that and inform you guys that within 1.5 years, by September 2024, we touched our first milestone of 10 million customers. That was one of the fastest any payment app has grown across. Moving on, we thought, how do we leverage PayZapp towards launching a mobile-first digital native credit card? And that's where you must have heard about this particular product called as Pixel, which went across viral because of, not because of the product mainly probably, but also for the reason that it partnered with one of the biggest face in the entertainment industry, which is Diljit Dosanjh. We kind of wanted to make the product viral, so we tied up in his endeavor of the Illuminati tour and started kind of doing across a joint program and promotion about Pixel credit card. Also, we have our bank marketplace, HDFC Bank SmartBuy, which is a marketplace which offers the best of deals and offers which a customer can get. Again, very intelligently, we plugged across the SmartBuy into PayZapp itself, what we call as PayZapp Shop. So next, what is that we are doing with MoEngage? So whenever we kind of approach across from a product solution perspective, there's a lot which MoEngage offers to us. That's why this tie-up is a win-win for both of us. Product funnel analysis, which is the most core to any product manager, where they understand where the customer journey is. I think in the previous session, Anjali kind of alluded to it by saying that we did find across a bit of a challenge in our onboarding journey. And we realized that there are customers who are dropping off. So what do we do? So we quickly kind of doubled down on that particular analytics to figure out that how do we make across this north of 90 as part of onboarding itself. And that's where the MoEngage funnel analysis kind of helped us. We do across a lot of understanding in terms of whenever a customer signs up for a particular product, and PayZapp is a product which has across a lot of, it's a platform and an ecosystem at that, and has across a lot of modules inside it. So the modules kind of have across their own customer onboarding path, whether be it UPI, whether be it shop, whether be it card control, whether be it a bank tab which kind of provides for financial services. So we use a tool called as Intelligent Path Optimizer. What it does is it distributes the users very intelligent across various campaign distribution, helps us do across a lot of drop-off remarketing, which we otherwise were not able to do earlier. Yeah, those are the few of the use cases which we see. Again, one of the most important matrices for any payment app or any app in the industry has been MAU. Okay. Now, how do we improve on MAU? Okay. At the end of the day, app login is such an important and crucial matrix for all of us to track. And again, on this particular aspect, we kind of started across with 5 kind of logins per month. Now, we are not happy with that. A payment app should have across much more, right? So we built across a lot of intelligent contextual nudges in that entire path. How do we do across off-app communications? How do we get across the customer to log into the app and kind of showcase our product variety which we can offer to the customer? And that's where we kind of increased our entire app logins from 5 to 17 per month. Yeah, so these are the few of the many mechanisms we have been doing it, whether be it a RuPay credit card offering within the app towards promoting it. Now, during payments, typically, you think about the product which you want to purchase. The idea is not payment first. It is all about what you want to purchase. You don't think about scanning a QR when you are going for buying across your grocery, right? It is about buying that respective grocery product which you want to probably purchase through. So what we wanted to do is kind of put across something which is in form of very contextual communication during the payment path, where we kind of tell the customer very clearly that what is that you are getting and what is that you are missing out on. And that is one of the few examples where, say for example, when you are transacting during the transaction checkout, we very contextually and without introducing his payment journey, kind of nudge about, you could have earned across a PayZapp 100 kind of a promo and could have gone across 100 cash points. So those are the various small things we have been doing within the app. Again, from a bank perspective, we think, security of a customer and, their privacy concerns are very important to address. That's where we have plugged in across any detection of any anomalous things which are happening within the app. Say, login during 4 a.m. in the morning, okay? Now you'll be alarmed, right? So that's where we play across certain roles where we do across proactive communication to the end customer towards alerting him towards anything which he thinks across is probably not the right thing which is happening with his experience. Yeah, so this is an interesting one. So again, as we work very closely with MoEngage, there are a few problem statements within our journey over the last couple of years, which we wanted to kind of understand and address. One of the most critical things, not just for PayZapp, for any app which operates with a mobile interface, is how do we render across and design a home page, which is, probably UI first homepage, which kind of renders as per the customer. And which is very difficult to do if you think so. Most of the apps which you see across in the industry are static in nature. The UI doesn't change across from person to person. And that's where we thought of, brought this problem statement to MoEngage team. And they kind of suggested us across a mechanism that they could leverage across something called as MoEngage Personalize. Now, MoEngage Personalize is one of those tools where it is just not about contextually nudging the customer what they want to see, but also kind of changing across the UI of your homepage or app layout as you want across for every single customer differently. So for me, say Arobindo wants to see across his Swiggy voucher purchase at the first, instance, while for example any XYZ person, they want to basically just want to scan a QR. So how do you create across a home page which is contextual and dynamically different for every single customer? That's where MoEngage, app personalize helps us a lot. And the APIs have been quite robust to handling across the huge traffic we brought under their way. And this is considering the scale which you're speaking about, almost 2 million customers coming to the product and experiencing it. Another interesting use case, again very banking oriented, being PayZapp from being the stable of HDFC Bank. A lot of guidelines from security perspective is what the regulator expects us to abide to. Whether be it customer data privacy, whether it's consent collection. Now, one of the things where we are doing across such kind of a product from a banking perspective is that the PII of the customer. How do you protect the PII of the customer? Now, there is a mobile number being used, there is an email ID being used, right? Now, this is something where the customer expects that if I share across and provide across my personal details with the bank, these details are not leaked, not used, not leveraged across from a marketing perspective, which I otherwise would not like to. And considering the data privacy which was involved, we again presented this problem statement to MoEngage, and that's where we leveraged their patented technology of PI encryption, which kind of encrypts the payload during the delivery of communication. So from a bank perspective, we are very assured that the data, whatever we are passing into them, say example, you want to trigger across a SMS to a customer, okay? Now XYZ has a mobile number. At the end of the day, you have to use the mobile number to trigger the SMS. Or say you have a WhatsApp number where you want to trigger across a WhatsApp. Now, without exposing the mobile number, which is at the essence of this particular trigger, how does the payload encrypt it at the beginning itself so that it doesn't allow across your data to be exposed across from a third-party perspective? Now, from a bank perspective, everything which is between a customer and a bank is basically the two-party model. Anything beyond that is a third party, including MoEngage. So that's where we leverage the PI encryption technology, which automatically does the payload encryption and does the purging automatically within post the delivery. So this is again a very effective tool from a industry perspective, which is especially deals in banking. That's the product I was speaking about, the Pixel credit card. We launched it last year. It has been a huge success story so far for us. These are the few things we do. So you can see across the timer push notification alert, where we kind of promote across. So the idea is that how do we create across a virality about the product when we kind of pitch to the market. Yeah. So nutshell, what is that we are saying? What we are seeing in our journey with MoEngage, 60% more UPI adoption, 20% drop-off reduction. Sherpa optimized campaigns. Now this is an interesting one. While you must be using across MoEngage, one of the most important things I have seen across, and that's where you say the devil is in the details. We do across a lot of content, right? At the end of the day, as a product manager, I want to send across for my customers 3 types of different content. Now how do I understand which one is the one which will have the maximum uptake? Now that's where the entire Sherpa model helps us a lot. Again, that's an embedded offering from MoEngage. What you can do is simply put across all your communications inside the Sherpa layer and leave it to Sherpa to decide. Okay, what it typically does is it will define across what is getting the maximum CTR, and that's where our entire KPI is, right? So impressions will automatically decide by Sherpa. They will decide across which communication is supposed to be the one which should be distributed to the rest of the layer. And it takes the decision at whatever layer you want to. Say example, 5% of the communications have been going to the customer. You have gone across say 2% CTR on something and 2.5% on something and 3% on something. Automatically the Sherpa tool will pick up the 3% CTR one and plug in that for the rest of the customer base. Again, very intelligently used. We are seeing across a lot of conversions using this. 52% retention, 3x jump in annual growth. Now, this is all things which we have been kind of doing along with PayZapp. This is the homepage I was referring to, where it kind of is optimized as per the customer. Yeah. Now, what next in our journey along with MoEngage and PayZapp? So, a lot of things we are doing together. For example, understanding the right segment, whom to target. Now, from again an app perspective and a product perspective, the most important aspect which we want to cover is trying to understand who is the next segment of customers who is supposed to attrite, who is supposed to uninstall, who is the right customer who is already engaging, how do I increase across his app logins and his TPAC as in transaction per active customer. That's where we have been kind of identifying the segments rightfully by the system itself, where MoEngage gives you a very clear view of the RFM segments, the recency, the frequency, and the monetary value of the segments, and kind of tells you which particular segment is something where you need to be concerned of, and which is the particular segment where you need to leverage and double down on. Next best action is something where, again, being across from HDFC Bank, we have a large and huge data with us. How do we leverage that data? Again, we are using across the MoEngage data import tool towards pulling across the data. Again, nothing to do with PII, but simply the marketing layer of communications and nudging those customers specifically what they want to see. Say, for example, from a HDFC Bank perspective, I can see across a customer using their bank account to do across their fuel transactions. So how do I tell him across that, on doing across, say, example, if I'm running an offer, your next 3 fuel transactions gets you across something. Now, how do I tell that information? Now, it's very difficult to leverage across customer data without exposing PII and also still covering across your objective of growth. And that's where we play across a role where we pass across the data without passing the PII and just simply identifying the customer via identifier segment and simply nudging the customer that you could have been leveraging this particular offer which is available to you. Gamified milestones is something which is again very important to us from purely a retention perspective. Early predictions is again a custom-based model to prevent uninstalls. Now this is something which is a AI-driven model at the first place. The genesis is Gen AI on that particular path. So it is clearly telling us that what is the customer prediction, what is the next set of users who are supposed to go dormant, or customer set who are supposed to go inactive, and then automatically kind of doing across a trigger message if you want to retain those. And that's the best tool for a product manager to kind of do across a growth story, or a growth manager to kind of build across what they want to pitch to the customer and to the right segment, of course. This doesn't involve across anything in terms of where you do across all these Excel sheet activities, pulling out the data, analyzing yourself, sitting across over the hours. This is automatically kind of the system identified cohorts which you can do. From the PayZapp stable, we are bringing across few more things to the industry, which we think across will again this market is very dynamic, and we think across the customers can opt for a few products which we think are tailor-made for them. One of those is wallet. Now recently, beyond using your bank account or credit card, you can do a UPI transaction in something which is probably not known to the customer set, and that's where PayZapp wallet, which doesn't leverage a bank account, can help you do across your UPI transactions. We all have our CAs who tell us that don't do across your transactions with your bank account. This is that particular product which kind of solves for it, and thanks to NPCI who has brought across this innovation. We also are getting credit line into UPI and creating a family hub towards managing across all your payments at one go without having to kind of remind yourself or remember everything at one particular point of time. Yep. So that's pretty much it from what I wanted to present. Thanks for being a patient audience.